Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. Today, I'm very excited to have here with me Brandon Woods. He's joining me all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to talk about all things video, 30 days of daily videos. We're going to talk about also his work and an upcoming exhibition that's coming out this summer. So it's going to be a great conversation. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be really good. Hey, Brandon, good to see you today. Thank you for joining me. How are you?
Hey, Sergio. Thanks so much for having me. I'm great. Yeah. How about you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Thank you for taking time on your schedule and your busy day. I know you're preparing for a show, which we'll talk about that, pretty soon. And, to share a little bit with us about a kind of a little bit of an experiment, right? That you did. We kind of got in touch here through Instagram recently. And then, as I also got to know you a little bit better through that next level and so on, I saw that you really wanted to do video. So I said, hey, I'm going to give you a challenge. Why don't you do, every day, a video on your Instagram for 30 days straight. And you took me on the challenge and you said, I'll do it. And I followed it. And I thought it was really, really good. So I would start kind of having that conversation there with you. So before we talk about the video experience, tell us a little bit, for those of our friends who, are getting to know you here to here, what kind of art you make? And then let's talk about the video after that.
All right. So I have moved into making what's effectively like a completely new form of art, a new discipline, or even like an entirely new field of study, because the work that I'm creating now, you can see, this is probably the closest example that you can see here. I'm working on shaped panels, but it's a little bit more than shaped paintings. I've developed a way and even built my own calculator to construct these panels such that they vary in height, width, depth, and pitch simultaneously. So they really project off of the wall, and the combination of all of those means that your perspective of what you'll see, like if you were to look at a cube that's sitting in the corner of a room, it's not really going to look like a cube to you. You'll understand it as being a cube, but it won't look necessarily like a cube if you took a picture and kind of drew it out there. And so working with these panels, constructing them in that way, when the viewer comes into the space, it's almost kind of disorienting. I'm warping space, and so the work is no longer really necessarily painting. It's not really necessarily sculpture. It's kind of it's maybe both, but it finds the traditional definitions of both. And one thing that's been really consistent in my work for a long time now is that I really like definitions. I'm the one where if I'm writing an Instagram post, I'll be going to dictionary.com looking up the definition for that word because I'm like, what does that word actually mean though? And sometimes it's fascinating because the word might mean something completely different than the way that you actually use it. But so it was time for a new definition for what this is, what these works are, where they operate between painting and sculpture, and the way that the viewer is interacting with them, and as they kind of seem to change as the viewer moves around them, just sort of because of the pitch, because of the iridescent colors and the interference colors that I use in them. They're also active in time too.
So it's like a shifting where the shape shifts, the color shifts, the orientation shifts, right? Everything kind of shifts as you move and experience the artwork, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's a whole matter of just kind of the viewer has the opportunity to kind of almost give themselves over to these pieces whenever they're engaging with them, and really kind of be, the work ceases to be the kind of the traditional sense of a more traditional painting. Here's one view of one thing
Mm-hmm.
into being more of an experience for the viewer.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you for the extended description of that, because I think it helps our friends. Now, as we've been chatting, I've been showing here on the screen some of your works,
Oh,
which is
thanks.
great. So that there's some visuals too, and that kind of brings us to the conversation of the video, right? Of the everyday videos, which I really love, because again, you're not working with conventional artwork that you paint a flat surface, hang it on the wall, and it's done, but rather you have all these aspects and all this dimension and all the math that goes behind it. I love that in your daily videos that you were doing on Instagram, you were taking us behind that. Sometimes you were holding the artwork, you were walking around it. So it felt like we were there with you in your studio, as you were talking about this. I remember in one you had like some sort of board and some sort of numbers and a list, and like, wow, that's all the kind of the structural aspects of making the work and the calculations of making the work. So tell me a little bit about the experience with doing the daily videos. How did you like that? And was it hard for you? Was it easy for you? And let's start right there with the video.
Well, it was terrifying at first. Yeah. I mean, this all started as part of the goal setting challenge
Yeah.
back in December, where it was your videos really helped me to figure out what was going to be my goals. What was I going to focus on?
Right, exactly.
I'm going to be kind of laser focused on these things. I'm going to let the other things, for the most part, they'll take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't have to be everything for everyone all the time. I just need to do these few, I need to focus on video. I need to get my show, up to the level that I expect it to be. And so I recorded. Looking back, it looked like it was the very first night of that goal setting challenge. I recorded this 5-minute long video and posted it to the group, and to kick this off. And so that was whenever you challenged me to do the 30-day thing, and that was taking you up on it. I've been listening to some other podcasts lately, and I found it really interesting that one thing that came up in a couple of different podcasts where they were talking about Carl Jung, and he had this idea that the cave that you are most afraid to enter is the one which holds the treasure that you seek.
Oh, okay.
And so it was that kind of idea for me, I think, with video, that I was most afraid to enter that cave. I was most afraid to go on video and just kind of talk, because for all of the preparations that one could make, I've definitely thought about trying to figure out how I can build a teleprompter or something like that, like writing it all out. But it doesn't work like that. It has to be authentic. It has to flow, and just getting out there and just talking and just being myself. And so felt like I got better and better, as I went along with the videos. I got a lot more comfortable as I went along with them, and was really just able to loosen up and started to come up with more and more ideas for what to do. It doesn't all have to be so incredibly focused or driven in terms of having this real cohesive narrative. I think that more, it just needs to be, this is the life of an artist. This is what is happening. This is the work that I'm making now. This is what I'm really excited about. And I think that just being excited about it makes people excited too. It's contagious.
And that's definitely what I experienced as I was following your posts and your videos. I didn't watch all 30. I missed sometimes here and there, but I tried to watch them as as they would come up on my screen, like, oh, that's great. And I always had a big smile when I saw you doing your 30-day challenge. And it looked, as you went through, feel more comfortable and more relaxed on the screen. And then you also, as you project that also to the viewer, then we feel on the other side closer to you, like we are there in the room. So especially because, as you're talking about figuring out what to do for 30 days in a row, it's hard. It's a pressure that you have. Okay, I just finished this one shoot, I have to do one tomorrow, right? So what am I going to talk about? But not feeling like every video has to be like a teaching moment, but more that, it could be then just the way I would, describe it is like, if every day somebody comes and visits your studio, and so you just give them a little nugget of what's happening in as you said, in your artist life, and that is the whole thing. And I think that's what made the pleasure of following you, day by day, really enjoyable, because it was not repetitive. It was something new every day. Some of the days were longer, some of the days were shorter, and I think it was really great. Congratulations on taking me up on that challenge and doing it all the way through and not giving up. And I look forward to see what's next, what continues on from that. And as you gain more experience and you're more comfortable with that, I think it's a great addition to what you're already doing, and particularly for the work that you are creating, as you mentioned. I think is the perfect medium to do that. And so super cool. Before we close it and we wrap it up, tell everyone about your show that's coming up in the month of July. Where is it going to be at, and what we expect to see there?
So the exhibition is going to be titled Spatium. It's going to be in the very beginning of July through the rest of July. And it will be at the Emporium in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's it's in downtown Knoxville. And if anybody wants to see more examples of my work, they can visit my website at brandonwoodsart.com. Don't go to brandonwoods.com because that's a retirement home.
Okay.
brandonwoodsart.com is my website. That's also my handle on Instagram at brandonwoodsart. So you can follow me there as well. And on Facebook, I am at bwoodsart, because my at Brandon Woods Art kind of fell into a void somehow. So but Instagram at Brandon Woods Art, my website, brandonwoodsart.com.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Brandon. You've been so awesome. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Wish you the best success in your upcoming show. Thank you for sharing with us today. And we invite our friends, please follow Brandon, check out his work. And, if you see him doing video, also make sure you watch those videos, give him some likes and comments as well, and some feedback. That would be really awesome. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends. And thank you so much. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next time. Bye, Brandon. Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks, Sergio.